What's up, y'all? It's your favorite clarity coach, Miranda Alexis, and I am back with another YouTube video. And y'all, I just want to share with y'all my story about how the Lord snatched all my edges yesterday, and just the revelation that He gave me. So, just a little background story. Many people know that, well, I guess maybe not many people know, but a few people know that I have been, dealing with a neck injury that I got at the beginning of this year. And I thought that I was going to be, go to the doctor, go to, chiropractor, I'll be boom, boom, back, to what I was doing. But I have still not gotten back to the place that I thought I was going to be able to go back to. It has been a healing journey, and it has definitely taken some time to recover in this process. So, throughout this process, I found myself feeling very lonely because people that I valued, people that I thought were my friends, people that I cared so much about, who I was still checking up on, who I was still trying to communicate with, they weren't communicating with me or checking up on me. And it was people who I didn't expect, honestly, people who I never would thought would call and pick up the phone and say, hey, how you doing? I'm just checking on you. Those are the people that checked up on me throughout this process or throughout this journey that I've been on. And, that was hard. That was hard for me because it's like, when you value someone and you value your friendship that you have with somebody, you expect for your friends to be there. You don't expect, for them to only call you when they need something, or to call you and be like, hey, you ready to come back? And you're like, no, I'm not ready to come back. And they don't actually take the time to ask you how you're doing or what's going on. People see, they see me on social media. I know you guys see me, doing what God has called me to do, but behind the scenes, like I'm jumping on camera, I'm doing, my classes or whatever. But when I get off, and a lot of times I'm doing those things like in pain. I am taking medicine just to be able to push through. My body is hurting. I still can't turn my neck all the way to the left, and it's like, so I'm still recovering, I'm still healing, walking and standing for long periods of time makes my neck or my back hurt, and it's still been a journey, but I've been pushing through, and by the grace of God, He has, been giving me the grace and the strength to be able to do the things that He's called me to do. But it has been a season of recovery for me. It has definitely been a season of rest for me. And I've just been, sitting in that. But like I said, throughout the process, I still expected people, especially the people who I really valued, to be like, hey girl, I'm just checking on you, or how are you? How's the process going? And the people that I expected to do that didn't. They haven't. And so I am just, and kind of stay with me because, it's all going to come together. But my friend, my sister in Christ, she is doing a 14 days of Terry where we pray every night. I'm in Eastern time zone. She's in Central, so it's 10 to 12 her time, but it's Eastern is 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. my time. So I've been up, at night, and I've been praying, and I've been spending that time with God just to kind of hear from Him. And one particular night, I decided to not get on the prayer call because I knew that I had to get up super early the next morning. And so, and by super early, I mean before 5. So, I was like, I'll just, miss this one out and I'll catch the replay or whatever. And a little after midnight, the Lord was like, get up. And I was like, huh? Like, I'm tired. But he was like, get up. I need you to get up. So I was like, okay. So I got up. And when I got on the prayer call, they were discussing, having an intimate relationship with God and what that looks like, and asking God for a deeper revelation of who he's supposed to be, in this season to you. And I knew that the Lord, in this season, I knew that he had spoken to me and said that he was going to be Jehovah Rapha in this season, which pretty much means, the God who heals. So, and I'm very like open when it comes to my relationship with him. Like, I tell God everything. Like, there's nothing that I withhold from him. And so I was like, okay, Lord, like, I know you woke me up for a reason. So, like, if I'm, I'm very open with you, good, the good or bad. We communicate, we talk, but if there's a deeper level of our relationship that you want me to experience, that I need to tap into, then reveal that to me. And so that was just my prayer point, like, Lord, reveal to me what it is that you're trying to say about our relationship. And mind you, I had already been feeling like, God wasn't speaking to me that much. Throughout this journey of me being in a season of rest and recovery, the Lord was like very loud, especially in the beginning when, I first had to sit down back in like the end of April going into May. He was very loud, like through dreams, through visions, I could hear him, like he was loud. And over the past maybe like month or so, maybe I think since I've honestly gotten back from my trip to Texas, he just wasn't saying as much. And there were things that, I was praying to him about that I feel like I wasn't really getting confirmation on. Like, it kind of felt like he kind of got quiet. And I was feeling that in my spirit, but I never really paid attention. I was just thinking, oh, maybe that's him just saying, okay, I'm going to let my daughter rest. I'm going to let her recover in this season, so I'm not going to, speak to her as much. So that's what I thought it was. But during that time of prayer, when I was asking God, to show me what it is in our relationship that he wanted me to see, he began to tell me that, I hadn't been a good friend to him. And he felt like he couldn't trust me, and that I wasn't loyal to him, and pretty much that I had hurt his feelings. And y'all, when I tell you, that broke my heart. Oh, that broke my heart. I just began to cry, and I just began to apologize, and I just began to like repent. And he gave me, a specific situation in my mind, and he was like, I told you something, and that I wanted you to keep a secret, and you went and you told somebody else. And I know exactly what he was talking about. And in that moment when I actually did go and I did tell that person, I felt bad about it. It wasn't anything bad. Of course, we talk about God. We talk about the goodness of God, so we're excited. Like, oh, let me tell you what the Lord has done. And, but when I said it, I knew that I should not have said it. And so, immediately in that moment, I was like, Lord, like, I repent. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry for telling, for saying this, and I shouldn't have. But I never thought about it I thought about it from the aspect of him being God, and, like, I don't want no kickback, like, Lord, don't get me, like, I'm sorry. But I didn't think about it from the aspect of me being his friend and him trusting me with his secrets and him trusting me on that level, in our intimate relationship, and him being able to open up with me and share his heart with me. And I didn't think about that. There's different aspects of God. Like, you can get to know God on the surface, but my desire is to get to know God, to get to know God's heart and to be intimate with him. And y'all, like, I hurt God's feelings and I was not a good friend to God. So I just, like I was crying and I was telling God that I'm sorry and, I repent, and to show me what it looks like to be, a friend to him. Because, we say, all the time, I am a friend of God. I'm a friend of God. I'm a friend of God. But what does it really look like to be a friend of God? Can God really trust us? Are we loyal to God? Are we, keeping what God is telling us? Are we, communicating with him the way that we should? And that was another thing that that really broke my heart, was the fact that even in me being a bad friend to God, he was still loyal to me. He was still, I could still trust him. He was still a good friend to me, even down to the point to where, he cared about our friendship so much that he woke me up out of my sleep to communicate how he felt to me, to communicate, like, Lex, like, I understand that, you love me and, we're good, but let me really show you how I feel. Let me show you where, you've kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And so that way not so to carry any offense or to punish me, but so that way we can work on it and we can mend our relationship and we can get back to that place where, he feels like he can trust me and he can, open back up and show me, his heart, and, give me those dreams and give me those visions and begin to speak loudly to me again. So that was like the other side of it. Like, man, like, I was really a bad friend to God. So back to, my situation and, and my friends who I thought were going to be there. Later on it was the next day, I think, or later on that day, it was just weighing heavy on me because I'm in a season of transition. I'm in a season of, where God is really elevating me and taking me to the next level. I'm closing some chapters, and it was just like, dang, the people that I really valued, like, they have no idea what's going on. And, I've tried to reach out, I've tried to set up a time so that way, that we can talk, I've sent out text messages and, like, there's nothing. And so it hurt my feelings, y'all. It really did, because, just throughout this season and this time of rest and recovery, like, the Lord has been showing me, like, the heart of people, of those around me. And I've really learned, the definition of, everybody can't go with you. And so it's been like a season, like an eye-opener season for me. And I've had to, like, end relationships, cut off friends. I've had to block people, because, the Lord reveals certain things about them to me, and I'm not able to take them into this next season with me. So I never thought that, the people that, I never thought that these people would be, a part of that. And so, I was on Facebook, whatever. We get on Facebook and we make our little posts, and I was trying not to be, like, in my feels. I was trying to be, like, spiritual about it. And the post was very simple, and I was just saying, like, just because you don't understand someone's journey doesn't mean that God isn't leading them. And I went on to say, just speak on just, like, the journey that I've been on, through this healing process and me dealing with my neck injury and how hard it's been and how God has been, revealing, the heart of people, of those around me, and it's been really hard. And I said, just to sum it up, I was just like, thank you to the ones who, took time out to check on me and just say, hey, how you doing? Miss seeing you around, just want to make sure you're okay. And I was like, I forgive the ones who didn't. And then I was like, excited about my next chapter. So it was very like, I really didn't say anything. Like, I was just like, just sharing. That's what we do on Facebook, right? And so, like, maybe a little while after that, I just felt in my spirit, delete it. And I was like, are you saying delete it, God? Like, I didn't say anything bad. Like, it wasn't a bad post. I wasn't coming from nobody's neck. Like, I was being, really sweet and loving, just, and the Lord was like, delete it. And I was like, okay. Like, because I've already gotten to a point to where I've hurt your feelings. Like, I'm not going to be in this space of disobedience and continue to damage our relationship more than I already have. So if you say delete it, it's gone. I'm going to delete it. So I deleted it. Later, maybe like an hour later, I was on the phone with my spiritual mom, and I was sharing with her. I was like, girl, let me tell you how the Lord got me together today. So I was telling her about, how the Lord revealed that I wasn't a good friend to him. And, I got to the point to where I was saying, like, even in the midst of me not being a good friend to him, how he still was there for me, how he was willing to communicate the matters of his heart with me and to open up and share with me how I offended him. And she said, what the Lord did to you was show you, what the Lord did to you was show you what we're supposed to do on earth, like to our friends on earth. The grace that he gave you is the grace that we're supposed to give, to our friends and to one another. And I was like, it just slapped me in my face, because my mind immediately went to the post that I made on Facebook. And even though I said I wasn't offended and I wasn't trying to be hurt, I was hurt. And it was just like, the Lord was like, that's why I had you delete the post, because how dare you get on Facebook and you try to, technically call out, people about not being a good friend to you when you haven't even been a good friend to me. I had to pick my chin up off the ground, and I couldn't even say anything. Like, I couldn't, this was me. Like, I was lost for words, because he was so right, like the way that the hurt and the pain that I felt, because my friends didn't take time to check in on me. It's the same way that, God probably felt when I didn't take time to check in on him, to ask him, because I was like, oh, I'm sorry. But I never was like, Lord, like, how did that affect our relationship? Me sharing and me, violating your trust, and how did that affect you? Like, I'm sorry about it. Let's pick up the pieces and move on. It was basically how it was, but I never took the time to be like, let me show you that you can trust me again. Like, how did that affect you? And it was just like, how dare you be in your feels and make a post on Facebook? Delete it. Delete it, because what you need to do is focus on the friendship and the relationship that you have with me, and stop focusing on others. And yeah, he snatched all my edges and he got me together real quick. So I am going to take time, y'all, to really get back to that place of intimacy that I once had with God, because I can't do anything without him, y'all. Everything that you see that I am doing, down to, my businesses and things that I'm getting ready to launch and the stuff that he's given me, I can't do without strategy. Like, I can't do it without God giving me the strategy to be able to do it. And I feel so stuck, because it's like the Lord is telling me to do certain things, and He's sending word, like, I need you to do this, but there's no play behind it. And in order for me to get the strategy, and in order for me to get the substance and of the things that He wants me to do, I have to take time to go to that level, to get back to that place of intimacy, so God can open up His heart to me. So I'm about to do some spiritual maintenance. I'm about to be in, a season of consecration, and just really spending time with God. So I am not going to be doing the boot camp that I was going to be doing on August 1st. I'm not doing that. I am pushing that back. Everything that I was getting ready to launch at the beginning of August, I am pushing that back, because I cannot do these things without God. Like, I do not want to do these things in vain. And I know that, me personally, just my experience, I've launched things and I've done things, and it's very discouraging when you feel like the Lord is telling you to do something and then you do it and it does not take off. Like, you have no clients, and it's like, when he was telling Peter to fish, and he was like, I've been fishing all day. Like, there's no fish out here. Like, I'm tired of casting his net. That's how your girl feels, because it's like, Lord, you have been telling me to cast my net. You've been telling me to use what's in my hand. You've been telling me to do this. You've been telling me to do that. And it ain't working. Like, why is my stuff not taking off? Like, why have I not gone to another level? And it's because I don't have the things that I need, the resources and the information, the insight and the wisdom and the clarity. The clarity coach needs clarity, okay? And in order for me to get clarity, I have to get on my face, and I have to fast, and I have to pray, and I have to spend that time with God. And I need to go mend my relationship, y'all. Like, I really need to go remember my relationship with God, and I need to figure out what it means to be a friend to Him. I know who He is as Father. I know who He is, as my provider. I even know who He is, as, my healer, in this season, who He's being to me. But I'm learning Him as a friend, and, I feel like I took our friendship for granted. So I need to go, and I need to pull away, and I need to go back into my secret place, and I need to spend that time with Him. So your girl is going to be on a sabbatical doing some spiritual maintenance. You won't see me on social media as much until the Lord, reveals me. I won't be launching anything. Like I said, there won't be a boot camp. Like, I am really going to be focusing on, getting, back to that place of intimacy that I once was with God. Because, y'all, when I tell you that I don't have time. Like, I don't have time to play. I don't have time to waste. I don't have time, in this season for any of that, because, y'all, I am too close to my promise. I am too close to my promise. And if I don't take this time to consecrate and to get back to that place of intimacy, I am going to draw out the process. I am going to not be able to reap the promise that God has for me, because I have not taken that time to repair the breach. I haven't taken that time to get what I need from Him, and it's going to draw out the process. Y'all, I don't have time. Like, time is ticking. Like, I have to do what I gotta do. So your girl will be gone for a little while, and just continue to keep me in prayer. And if this encourages you to look at your own relationship and look at the intimacy, that you have with God, then I encourage you to do that, because I'm telling y'all, like, there is a special, like, for one, there's a difference between God knowing of you and God knowing you. Like the word says, you know, like there are going to be people who are casting out demons in his name, who are prophesying in his name, who are, you know, everything is like the glory of God is still going to be there. And they're going to be like, Lord, I did all this in your name and I saw all these miracles and da 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 da. And he's going to say, depart from me because I don't know you. I don't know you. And y'all, I don't want that. Like, that's not what I want. I don't want to be out here, you know, working in my purpose, thinking that, oh yeah, me and God are good, and me and God are not good, y'all. That's not what I want. Like, there is a level of intimacy. There is a level of God's heart that you have to really tap into, to be able to know his desires and for you, and to know his plan for you, and to get the strategy for you. And, you know, that takes an intimate relationship and really taking that time to really get to know him. So that's what I'm going to be doing. If the Lord tells me to make a YouTube video, I'll make a YouTube video. But there won't be any clarity in the kingdom for a little while. I'm really just going to go back to that secret place and get the things that I need. So that way when I do come back out, you know, I know that I'm going to come back out with a bang, and that the Lord is really going to use me in a mighty way. So pray for your girl, and I'll try to keep y'all updated as much as I can. But, you know, this will be the last YouTube video for a little while, unless the Lord tells me to release something. But I love you guys. Like I said, you know, take some time to spend with God, so that way, you know, you can ask him, like, you know, who he is to you in this season. So that way you can, you know, know how to love on him and how to communicate with him. Because ultimately the characteristics of God, he revealed to me, is like his love language. So you want to know how to talk to God. You want to know who he is to you in that season, so that way you can get the things that you need. So, and it's not just about getting the things that you need as well, but that way you can love him and you can worship him the way that you're supposed to. And so definitely take some time to learn the matters of God's heart. If you feel yourself stagnant, if you feel yourself needing clarity, if you feel yourself needing instruction, if you feel yourself like, Lord, I don't know what to do, there may be a level that you need to tap into. So take some time to consecrate, you know, pray, fast. If you need to pull away and do so, because time is ticking, y'all. Time is ticking. And you never know when it's going to be your day. And I promise you don't want to get up there thinking, oh, like, you know, I'm about to be up in here with the holies of holies. And the Lord is like, I don't know you. I don't know you. I do not know you. And you're going to be like, what? Like, I did all this stuff. And God is like, I don't know who you are. So don't let that be your portion. I love you guys. That's all. I love you guys. Extend grace to one another. Love on one another. If there are people that you need to forgive them. And never be so quick to take offense or to feel hurt or get in your feelings, when you very well could be that same person. You could be that same person. So that's all I have for you guys. Yeah, later.